All right, let's get ready for happiness, because happiness and choosing happiness comes at a very big priority now in our life. And the most uncertain of times are these, right? Not because there's anything special about this pandemic, and not because our generation is special, not because we're technologically advanced. There's nothing actually that makes this special, except only one thing, is that our world today, أو عالمنا اليوم, it's the battle of the mind, right? It's the battle of the mind. It is said that in this age, at this time in the world, right, there is no battle that is real. Poverty is not real. I know this sounds very tough for those of you who are saying, ما في كتير ناس عايشين تحت خط الفقر وما في مصاري. Yes, I understand that. But the real battle, it's up here, right? It's all about up here. Because this is actually, if you notice now, what the world is doing, I mean, the creator is really helping me out, right? He's really helping me out. He's realized, you know what? You studied psychology. No one even took you for serious about 10 to 15 years ago. So I'm going to be kind to you for all the effort that you're doing. So I am going to make your domain the most thought after domain in the world. And I thought, okay, thank you, God. All right, I can now go home. No, not in the mood for jokes. Okay, then. Swiftly moving along. All right.
Yes, I got the joke.
We got the joke. We were fixing something.
Okay. The real battle in the world right now is the battle of the mind. Because what most of us think, مفكرين إنه our mind, right, is a generator. But actually, your mind is a processor. Right? Your mind, I've said this in many classes, your mind is a processing unit. It picks up and deciphers that which is around you. Does that make sense? So let's re-examine, and Mutla, if you feel that this is too deep or you're not understanding what I'm saying, you can interrupt and ask questions anytime, right? But there is, yeah. So, but there is one important factor that you guys have to know, right? About happiness, is that how many of you try to think positive thoughts 24 hours a day? You're like, I need to think positive, I need to think positive.
24 hours? No.
All right. But you make effort to. You're like, I have to think more positively, and my dreams are not manifesting because I don't think positively.
Yeah, sometimes we do that.
Okay.
I do that.
All right. Okay. Let me tell you something. You have been tricked, you have been fooled, and you have been sold a rotten cake. Positive thoughts or happy thoughts cannot alter your reality. Does that make sense? Because you can be, and I shared this on my Instagram, and please do listen to it. Right? It's a very beautiful video about a barrister that works at the Four Seasons, and he also works in Caesar Palace. And it's on my Instagram if you want to watch it. It's on stories. It's jana.s.khalife. Right? So basically, it's about a barrister who is so nice and kind in the Four Seasons. And then he goes in the afternoons to his other job, which is his second job, and he's grumpy and he's unkind and he's not really nice. And then he says, because the managers at the Four Seasons are really nice to me, while the managers in the Caesar Palace are not so nice to me. So your environment, notice this, your environment really dictates the amount of happiness that you have. Does that make sense? And I want to give you another example. The mind, think of it a bit like a balloon, right? Yeah, balloon. Anybody knows balloon? Balloon. Stop. Stop. All right, balloon. Your mind is a bit like the balloon. لوين ما يهب الهواء بيروح. Right? Has anybody tried to sit in meditation and control his mind? Can you share with us some of your feedback? Yes.
Cannot work.
Cannot work, okay. Only like for a few seconds, right? Okay. Because what most meditation teachers, I mean, personally, you're talking to someone who's really bad at meditating, because I just sit there and, snooze, so it's okay. And if I don't manage to fall asleep, then it's okay, because I'm probably imagining my Turkish series or what I need to do next. So it's okay, whatever I'm in the mood for. Isn't this my free time? I can do with it whatever I want. لوين ما الهوا بيروح هذا في يروح معه. Does that make sense? Your mind is truly like that. And happiness is exactly like that in your life, right? If you think about it. Because what is telling you that you're happy? Who's telling you that you're happy or sad?
Emotions, mind, our mind.
Your mind. Your mind is telling you if you're happy or not. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. So I want you to now share with me on whether you guys had a good day or a bad day. Let's see how many of you had a good day. Okay, unmute yourself if you had a good day.
I'm unmuted.
Okay.
A normal day.
Not bad.
Not sad, not happy.
No news, good news.
No news, good news.
Can we take it like this?
Okay. All right. Anybody had a bad day?
I had a bad day yesterday.
You had a bad day yesterday? Okay.
I had a bad day yesterday.
Okay. Anybody else? So Ziad and Zena, can you tell us what made your day bad? You don't have to tell us what happened, but can you tell us what made the day bad?
I heard bad news yesterday that really affected me.
Okay.
I woke up really late. I was very lazy and I basically did nothing but be a potato couch. So it was a bad day.
Okay. Anybody had a good day? Not a no news, bad news, good news, whatever, right? Like
Yesterday, I had a great day.
All right, Lara, what made your day great?
Yeah, actually, we did a barbecue and we enjoyed the gathering, me and the family. It was a good day. And I did the barbecue.
Into your gathering?
Lockdown.
Why didn't you tell me?
Of course, you are the most welcome. ما بدك عزيمة البيت بيتك.
يا بالحكي هيك لازم تقولي لي بدي اطلب اذن. Like seriously? Okay guys, let me just خليني ابسط لكم الموضوع كتير please. خلينا نتفاهم. Any gathering, kindly invite me. I'm even willing to pay for myself to come to your gathering. Just invite me. I need to see other human beings. All right. Okay. So your perception of good was because you were with family, yes?
And I was happy. I had a glass of عرق. I was happy. كنت عم بتشتي وعملت باربيكيو نار. I enjoyed it. بالتولز الموجودين يعني.
All right. Okay.
You can create your happiness, I think.
All right. Very good. Now, very good. Hopefully that's the right answer. Does anybody think Lara's answer is the right answer? I can create my happiness. Ooh. Bassem thinks that he can create his happiness.
No, if it depends on your environment. Like you can change your environment to something that causes happiness, but if your environment is bad, you can't force yourself to be happy.
Okay.
I think happiness is so it's related to each individual.
Okay.
And happiness can be achieved by small gestures. يعني I committed, like in the lockdown, every day at 4:30, apart helping my mom in cooking, to go down, prepare her coffee because her helper traveled. So I really wait at 4:30 like a small kid. This really, really is making me so happy. My quality time, half an hour in the afternoon with my mom, pampering her because I used to be very busy. So taking care of my mom is bringing me happiness this half an hour, 1 hour in the afternoon.
Paper and pen, you guys. Grab it.
I think happiness is sharing, no?
Okay, if you say so. Grab a paper and pen, please. Let's waste some time, since all of you around the globe are in lockdown. Grab a paper and a pen, please. You ready? جمانة يمين.
Ready.
عملي الexercise.
Yes, عم بعمله.
Write down the list of things that make you happy. Guys, you are wise. You are people of wisdom. Give us something I haven't heard on a YouTube free ad. What?
It's not all the list that thing that make me happy. It's a choice that I can be happy whatever it is.
There you go. Write your list down. I can be happy wherever I go. There you go. Ah, okay. All right. Basim is making the choice to be happy with no list.
I had awful days at work,
Okay.
but it didn't make me sad.
He had very bad days at work, but it didn't make him sad.
I agree with Basim.
Is sadness the absence of happiness?
What is this? Albert Einstein change of terminology. Seriously, guys, you are supposed to be wise. حجرسونا قدام الأجانب. جرستونا وخلصتوا قدام الأجانب.
Can I say something?
Yes.
You can have everything in life and yet still be sad. So, yes, still be depressed, still commit suicide. I think happiness is related to perception as well.
Okay.
And it is a state of mind. You decide when to be happy.
Okay.
I know the answer.
Basim has the answer.
I listed for
Please.
being happy actually.
It's a matter of perception. Happiness is a matter of perception.
Happiness is a matter of perception. He was here last week and shift your perspective, so now he's giving us blah blah. Okay. خلاص فهمنا. Up your games. جرستونا قدام الأجانب. Yeah? Anybody else? By the way, وزينة is أجانب وعم بتجرسونا بعد أكثر قدامها, just for the record.
فيني أقول شيء بعد؟ فيني أقول
Yes.
شيء بعد؟ Happiness is an illusion. رحنا باهية أكلناها بهدلة.
لا هيدا باسم طعمك بهدلة قال وات أنا ما خصني أنا ما حكيت ولا شيء.
خلص
يلا. You know I like
في فرق بين happiness والاشياء الصغيره اللي بتبسط يعني البليزير يلي انه مثلا انا انبسطت اليوم لانه عملت شغله انه هيدي مش happiness انه هيدي temporary يعني مؤقته.
Okay.
الهابينس شوي اطول.
أنا شوي I agree with Rani إنه like happiness depends on your standard of where you set your happiness. If waking up in the morning is a cause of happiness, then your standards are really low for happiness.
I like that. If waking up in the morning is a standard for happiness, then your standard is very low. I like that. Very well put, by the way. Very well put. Extremely well put, by the way. All right. If your standard for happiness, if happiness is waking up in the morning, then your standard for happiness is very low. مش معقول شو حلوة هالجملة. All right. It's very well said, by the way. Okay. Let's be wise and ask you the question. Did you guys كتبتوا كلكم لستة of things that make you happy?
بس جنى,
Yes.
your camera is شوي blurring out. Can we?
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Okay. Can you write down the list of things that make you happy? And can someone who didn't share with us their happiness list share it with us, please? Sure, guys.
I can share what makes me feel happy.
Okay.
كتير بحب يعني to be in to see the ocean, to be by the beach, by nature.
Okay.
يعني the little things in nature, like عندي عصافير بيجوا جنينة, happy hearing them. A hug, you know,
Okay.
very rare nowadays. That makes me very happy. Seeing the appreciation in the eyes of the family members, that they appreciate me, that makes me so happy. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Anybody wants to share more of his list?
I can share.
Okay. Ziad, we're listening.
Anna. Okay. Other people around me being happy makes me happy. Laughing, partying, drinking, and sex.
Okay. Anybody else wants to add to that list?
I can add.
Okay.
Okay, playing games on the mobile, watching wine documentary, looking at the sky, cuddling a cat, money in my purse, shopping, swimming.
Okay.
Shopping is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. So does anybody come from a business background? You outsource your happiness.
Yeah.
That's called outsourcing, no? From a business perspective, right? This is known as outsourcing. If you hire someone to take care of your social media, is that in-house or outsourcing?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing. So if someone hugging you is making you happy, is that in-house or outsourcing?
Outsourcing.
Outsourcing.
If having sex, okay, that's confusing a bit, but if having sex with somebody else, is that outsourcing or in-house?
Both?
Outsourcing.
It can be both.
But it's mainly outsourcing because you're dependent on somebody else.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you
Both persons are outsourcing to
a
each
list
other.
of things you gave? Can you please tell me what is in-house? What are you guys doing in-house?
Health?
Health is in-house? But nobody said health makes
Taking
me
care
happy.
of you.
Anna, can you define
Good health.
Good health?
Sorry.
Okay. Muthad, you asked a question.
Sorry, can you define in-house, please?
In-house, in business terms, in-house is anything that you do inside the company. So if you have an accountant inside your company, that's called in-house accounting. If you hire somebody outside of your office to do your accounting for you, that's known outsourcing. So we are using this terminology now just to be able to describe external factors that contribute to our happiness. So it's everything that's external, right? And in-house means something that is inside me that is making me happy or unhappy. Does that make sense?
That's clear, thank you.
Okay. So can you tell me, from all the list of things you guys named, hugging, sex, food, cooking, swimming, money, is any of this in-house?
No.
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 What is the problem? You know, and it's good because we're also studying business right now. What is the problem with outsourcing? What are the advantages from the business perspective? What are the advantages and disadvantages of outsourcing?
Happiness depending on another other
No,
party.
no, no. I want the business. Sorry, Lara, to interrupt you, but I want just the business perspective on this.
Results are
Costly.
reliable on their results.
Okay,
And you're
so
paying
results
something.
are done and dependent on others' results.
And you pay money to get it.
And you pay
not
money
free.
to get it. Okay. Anything else?
You cannot control it as much as you want. You don't get the product you always desire.
Okay, you cannot control it as much as you want, and you don't always get what you want, right? What
عم
else?
تجي من برا لإلك من حدا تاني.
Absolutely. So in everything that you described, right, outsourcing has three major, right, negative aspects that relate to you and your happiness. It is very costly compared to as if you build it yourself. شو معناتها? If shopping makes you happy, every time you feel unhappy, you have to go and shop and waste money, right? If it's sex, you might end up in a promiscuous relationship, in an abusive relationship. If it is food, you might end up obese or anorexic. Whatever is external that is making you happy is very costly. This is number one. Number two, it is never the result you want. Outsourcing anything in any organization is eventually people bring it in-house, unless it's a completely different department, right? Or they partner up, because outsourcing never yields you the results that you want, right? Yes, Ziad, you wanted to say something. And just let me finish the third aspect then.
No.
And the third aspect of outsourcing, right, is that your success and your failure depends on it. So in very short, the moment you begin to outsource your happiness to other people, to other circumstances, to other substances, to other events, circumstances, whatever it is, you are actually a slave to those because you've given them your time, your effort, and your money. Does that make sense? So the pursuit of happiness is a pursuit bound to fail, right? And that's not the purpose of life. Many people think, oh, the purpose of my life is to be happy. The purpose of your life is to be fulfilled. And fulfillment brings happiness. Note the words, the purpose of your life is to be fulfilled, and fulfillment makes you happy. But what's fulfillment? Is fulfillment outsourcing or insourcing?
Insourcing.
All right. So the first thing we have to understand is that happiness, and especially in uncertain times like these, right? And you guys being wise people, we need to think that, am I being happy by something that is external? Or is my happiness coming from within? لهون منيح? Can I move on to the second point? Because this was just point one. Any questions
So
about that?
far, so good.
Yeah? Any questions? If you guys want to ask questions, now is the time. And this is why we say, that your mind is like a balloon, right? Because a balloon is being affected by what's on the outside. And this is why trying to be happy through your mind and through external circumstances never yields you true and lasting happiness. So هيدي الليستة اللي عملتوها was a what?
The balloon
Outsourcing.
or the wind?
Outsourcing.
It's outsourcing, it's an illusion, it's a lie. So what makes you happy? All right.
We can say, oh, sorry.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment makes you happy. Absolutely. All right. Point 2. That was point 1. Point 2. The first step, practical tools to happiness. The first step to happiness is to take ownership and responsibility, ownership, responsibility, whatever you want to call it, for the situation you find yourself in. Because, and this is going to be very powerful, so watch it. Sadness is the preview to your happiness.
Wow.
Take a moment to understand this. Sadness is the preview to your happiness. Meaning, practically, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, right? All those great leaders. Muhammad, Jesus, right? Whatever you want to tackle it. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Rafiq al-Hariri, right? All of these people. What was their starting point in life?
To achieve their goals.
No. It was sadness. Why were they sad?
There was emptiness there. They wanted to achieve something that they believed in at the start and they couldn't.
Exactly. They had no fulfillment. They lived in a world which was corrupt. They experienced the pain of others, right? So multiple things. Bill Gates probably thought this technology is too slow. Steve Jobs thought this technology is too complicated. Jesus probably thought there's too much division and hate. Muhammad thought, oh my God, these pagan worshippers, here we go again. Martin Luther King thought there's injustice in the world. Nelson Mandela was like, I'm sick of being called black, right? There was something that made them sad. There was something that made them extremely miserable to the point of like, I cannot handle this anymore. Does that make sense? And from there, right, that was the preview of their life. It's also known, for those of you who are interested in public speaking, right, sitting on my left, right, this is actually one of the prime, right, from the top 10 or top 5, actually, I can even go as far as saying top 5 of an attributes of a great speaker, which is, what is your story? Anything that's not your story is you pretending, and nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. Nobody likes to be preached at. Right? Makes sense? What is your story? What is that moment of sadness that you can create fulfillment by? What is that moment of sadness that you can create fulfillment by? So instead of focusing on what makes you happy, I'm going to ask you the question the other way around. What makes you sad? All right. I want each one of you now to please take a moment to think about that, and then we're all going to share together what makes you sad. All right. Let's start with Lulwa. What makes you sad?
Injustice.
Injustice. Ziad? What?
Loneliness.
Loneliness. Teresia?
ما اجت بعد على راسي هلا. I will let you know.
Lara?
Animal abusers. Animal abuse.
Okay. Maya?
Seeing people crippled by fear.
Okay. Mirvat? Well, you have a long list of things to do then, Maya. Mirvat?
Being bankrupt and having debts.
Okay. Jumana?
الصحة، الهيلث، صحته للإنسان، بس عارف حدا مريض أو شيء كتير بيزعلنا.
Okay. Rania?
Injustice.
Injustice. Muthla?
How sometimes I'm bound by my insecurities, and that creates a boundary for me to do many things.
Okay. So basically, being limited by your circumstances. Can we say
Yeah, it
that?
makes me sad that I let my insecurities or fear create a barrier for me. Yeah.
Okay. Zaina?
I would say also my health, I mean the health in general. And I feel like I'm not capable to do anything. Yeah.
Okay. Basim? Your health. Okay. Teresia?
Well, a lot of things apparently لأنه كل اللي قالوهم are valid. Like health, loneliness, like losing someone or losing the people around me. So these are the most two.
All right. You see every single one of these things that you just listed, doing actions to combat this in yourself is, guess what?
It's happiness.
It's
Happiness.
Fulfillment.
Fulfillment.
It's fulfillment, which yields to happiness. Combating, so very, very simply, الحياة مش معقدة. It's very simple. Go back to the basics. This is your basics. You want something practical? This is your practical. This is your basics. All right? This is your practical. This is your basics. You see that thing that you wrote on that piece of paper? right? You see that thing you wrote on that piece of paper? This is what brings you fulfillment, and this is what will bring you happiness. So the next time you feel sadness, recognize that it's this feeling and bring an action that removes that. So for example, if it's loneliness, loneliness is not the same as losing someone. By the way, anybody said death makes me sad? Anybody
Yes, me,
that,
by losing. Sorry.
all right? You need to know something, all right? The only thing that any fortune teller can guarantee you, the only guarantee anybody can give you in life, the worst investment in life is weapons. Do you know why?
Because we're all gonna die.
Because you're gonna die, whether you die from this weapon or whether you're gonna die, you're bound to die. Get it into your heads. I'm not trying to depress you. This is the realities of life. You are here and you هتودعوا, right? This is the number one guarantee.
هو بيقولوا الموت حق.
Exactly.
عادل.
Right? All right. Now, why do we not? So we understood this. Does that make sense of what's going to bring you happiness? Is that practical? We're all clear about it?
شانا يعني إذا مثلا unjustice أنا عندي unjustice شو بدي أعمل مثلا؟ إنه شو قصدك مثل ما بعرف.
What situation is unjust to you? شو هي الانجستس يلي
في
بحياتي؟
كتير أشياء، في كتير في الهيلث مثلا بعتبرها نوع من الانجستس، إنه في ناس بيسخنوا ناس لا. في قصص الأطفال يلي بيتعذبوا وفي ولاد بذات الوقت عايشين ملوك. هيك أشياء.
All right. So let's do something proactive. Okay? Every time بتشوفي ولد عم بيتعذب، ساهمي وساعديه. ساهمي وساعديه. ما عم بقول لك تنقذيه. And this is where we're going to get to the third part. بس في شغلة لازم تعرفوها. What is going to make you happy is that small step, right? That you take proactively to diminish those things that we are talking about. يعني the more you are proactive in taking care of someone's health, taking care of your health, you are going to be happy. إذا بتساعدي طفل عم بيتعذب ومسكين، هيدا الشيء رح يساعدك. تساعدي حيوان عم بينظلم، لارا، رح يساعدك. إذا شخص صحته ما منيحة، خلقان بلا إجر، وساهمتي بإنه يقدروا يعملوا له روبوتكس، هتقولي لي أنا وين وهني وين؟ أوكي، نحن هون هيدي المرحلة حأرجع أشرحها هلأ بالنقطة الثالثة. بس أي مساهمة نحن بنعملها towards that cause, this is what is our fulfillment and this is what our happiness is. لهون منيح؟
منيح وكتير صح.
منيح.
All right. Now, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do this exercise. And few 2 parts. Okay? 1 is why do you not do that which we just spoke about? Okay? Why do you not do that which we just spoke about? يعني, why aren't you in a children's cause? Why aren't you متبنية حيوانات وعم بتساعدي حيوانات? Why are you not taking care of your health? Why are you not with someone? Why aren't you invested in being in a relationship with someone? Why are you not helping raise consciousness and pushing to raise consciousness so people can come out of fear? Right? Why are you not doing that? I'm going to give you 2 minutes. I want you to think about it. And I'm going to ask each one of you to share why you're not doing that. And لهيدول اللي بيحبوا حالهم كتير ويقولوا لي لا بلا أنا I am doing that. أنا امبارحة من شي 5 سنين رحت طوعت عملت ساندويشات ساعدت الفقراء طعميتهم من 5 سنين. Right? I don't think so. Up your game. Right? هيك شوي. You know, create a hype. All right? All right. I want you to think about that. And the follow-on question is, since you're not doing that, well, I'm not projecting, I'm just asking, right? Since you're not doing that, what are you busy with? Does that make sense? All right. So, what are you guys busy with? Lulwa.
يعني what you're talking يعني nowadays you mean, or what how can I fight injustice, what I am doing towards injustice?
Yes, what are you doing towards injustice?
To tell you the truth, today I'm not doing anything, but 2-3 years ago when I joined Cisobel as a volunteer, coming from the idea came from injustice, why there are children who are handicapped and why the others are healthy. So I felt I want to give. I felt to help those kids, and I stayed in Cisobel 2 years ago. But now, because of the corona, everything has stopped. Even the institution, the school is already closed. But the moment, maybe one day when it will open again, I will continue volunteering.
Okay. So, اسأل السؤال. I understood that. What are you busy with right now?
I'm at home as a housewife. I practice my passion, my drawings. Cooking at home. There's nothing to do. ما بعمل شيء something extra.
Ziad.
But maybe you mean that I for something injustice to look about, maybe.
It's just a thought. Just a thought. Yani, the idea is to, you see this, just the question and answer, it's making your mind think, right? And when it begins to think, it's going to begin to do. Ziad?
I'm busy with social gathering and social drinking, so I replace this with that.
So you're fighting.
And
So
why
are
am
you
I not
fighting
doing it?
loneliness or you're not? Because you said loneliness, no?
Yeah, like
Okay.
so. The questions were two, like, why am I not doing it, and what am I busy doing instead? Like keeping busy with that.
Okay.
So like to fight loneliness, instead of finding a partner, I go to social events and social drinking extra.
Okay. Teresia?
Why am I not looking?
Okay. Yeah. I thought you were going. Okay. Why you're not looking?
I don't know. Like I حطيت fear of commitment, not fully invested, and laziness. But I'm not sure. Like they were random ideas.
Okay. Teresia?
I said death and I said health. Am I doing something for health? No, صراحة. What am I? And no. I should be doing like ما بعرف a lot of things, but what am I busy with? Nothing.
All right. Lara?
Well, actually, I am in beta. I help animals. I used to help a lot before, Nowadays, I don't know why I'm not helping like before. Maybe I'm focusing on something else nowadays. Maybe I should do more work concerning this because it brings me lots of happiness.
All right. What are you busy with?
Well, actually, nowadays I'm reading a lot about spiritual psychics, and I'm trying just to develop my psychic abilities. So I'm reading a lot of, focusing more on my spiritual path.
All right, Maya.
The reason I don't do it much because I myself get scared. So it's hard for me to help others in this area. And I'm trying to overcome my fear by working on my business and trying to overcome the fear of ending up alone.
Okay. All right. Mirvat.
Well, I لما قلت bankruptcy and debt, well, I worked a lot, and I think I have to work again a lot, and finding new ideas and new horizons to expand more.
All right. Jumana.
أنا كتير مشغولة، عندي كتير إشياء أعملها. أول شيء خلي اللوك داون مريح لأولادي، بعمل لهم الأكل وكل شيء I take care of him. عندي 2 ختيارية كمان عم بنتبه لهم، وعم بنتبه على صحتي. صاروا 7 كيلو، فعندي كتير إشياء أعملها.
Okay, so that's what you're busy with, and you said that it's
Yes.
your health.
My health عم باخد اهتمام فيها، وعندي كلاب اهتم فيها كمان، فعندي كتير اشياء اعملها بنهاري.
Okay. Are you happy?
Yes, الحمد لله.
Zena.
Why do I not do which I spoke about? I do. I am taking everything on time and بس هلا I reflected, maybe I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself or I feel مرات helplessness. But what I'm doing about it, I am based on how my day goes by, trying to be consistent, or I'm prioritizing my life. But it's easier said than done, you know? It's a process, I know that.
Okay.
I do find happiness, مش إنه I'm miserable, بس بتلخبط الوضع مرات, you know?
Musla.
I'm not busy with anything in particular. And I think the reason why I'm not consistently working on like getting over these insecurities and fears is that I'm letting my thoughts get the best of me and too concerned with people saying whatever.
Okay. Rania.
أنا يعني بساعد في جمعية بساعد فيها، عندي 3 أولاد من زمان، من شي 20 سنة أكتر، بس إنه هيدا بحس إنه منه كفاية. يمكن إذا هلأ عم فكر إنه يمكن لازم أنا أعمل شي، إنه أكون فولنتير أو أعمل شي أنا شخصيا، يعني غير إنه تساعديهم ماديا. وبشو من هي بعائلتي وشغل اللي بساعد جوزي وفايتنج this sadness يلي بتهبط علي من وقت لوقت هيك فجأة.
All right. Basim. Okay. All right. So this was very useful because I want to tell you a funny story that my teacher once shared with me, and I don't know why, بس أنا بوقتها حسيتها كتير بتضحك. So apparently she was telling us of a time that she went with a friend of hers to the casino, right? And the person said to her, you know what? I'm gonna play القمار هلا. If I win, I am going to donate 20% of the money. So she was like, okay then. So, you know, he rolled the dice and he won $45,000. All right? So as they were walking to cash the money, the person said, is it 20? I said, didn't I say less? Were you the only person who heard me? Really? 20% is a lot of money. But was that really the amount? So وصلوا عند الكاشير. They cashed in the money. And the person was like, when should I make this payable to? Because I have another payment and I was thinking that once I finish from that payment, whatever is left over, I can, give from that money. And then, right, a little bit later on as they got into the car, right, and my teacher is just not saying anything, right? And as they get into the car, the person says, oh, but I'm not really sure there will be any money left after I make those payments, just to be clear. That's the end of the story, right? So what happens? When we find our responsibility in life, when we find those things that we are meant to do in life, the excuses start to come in thick and thin. And this is known as a spiritual process of hardening the heart, right? An unpure heart. Why is it unpure heart? Because over time, the excuses, the blame, the victim begins to take over, right? A lot more than the happiness, its objective, and curing the sadness. Does that make sense? Excuses, victim, blame begin to take over a lot more than your desire to do that which makes you sad. Because even in your sadness, right, as Rania was saying, I try to fight the sadness. Even in your sadness, you can't fight darkness with darkness. The only way you can fight darkness is with the light. And this is where you have to begin to think, how am I proactively working on that which makes me sad? And you see, this workshop you can do anytime, right? But this is a very powerful time to actually examine this type of energy that is available in the cosmos, right? Because this week you are given the opportunity مش to choose happiness, but to choose those things that can give you fulfillment, which lead to your happiness. Any questions? That was either very well understood, very badly explained, or something in between.
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
خلاص? Why? No?
I have a question.
Yes.
No, I have a question. This week, are we supposed to think about things that we should do in a proactive manner? Or
لا
like,
لا
am I
وقفوا
expected
التفكير.
this week?
خلاص you did your تفكير. We already did it together. الحياة منا هالقد صعبة. مش نقعد ونفكر. All right? That's it. Loneliness, proactive steps to fix that. With no excuses. That's it.
بس with I'm not sure. What is proactive steps?
Don't go out drinking and socializing. Find a person on your list who is old and go into your relationship deeper and better with the person, him, her, whatever.
Okay.
Make sense? That's the difficult step. You know, you have to come out of here into this. So let's go through it with people. People who are for injustice, right? Proactively contributing to the causes to which you feel unjust about. If it's health, proactively doing something about your and other people's health. If it's animals, proactively helping animals. And sometimes that doesn't have to be money. If it's bankruptcy and debt, then it's also helping SMEs, helping the locals. Actually, Mirvat, you're a good example because you're already on that path of helping other people make money, right? From their own, you know, from their own
production.
From their own production, exactly, right? So that's very well within your journey, right? For example, Lulwa, you said about injustice, Lulwa and Rania, about injustice towards kids. Well, then go back to volunteering. Maybe they need fundraising. This is a good opportunity to begin to do that. Muthla, if you're thinking about issues that have to do with your own blockages and limitations, start being committed to removing those blocks and limitations, right? Ziad, loneliness, right? Not to highlight people, but loneliness, go deeper, go better in a relationship. Yeah? Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay, we will.
All right. Guys, any other questions when it comes to this? The one thing that will bring about, just to sum up, if you were to say, let's go through this together. If you were to say one lesson that you learned throughout this class, what would it be? So let's start this time other way around. Rania, one thing you learned in this class.
لازم أعمل شيء لحتى هالشيء يعبيني ويوديني للهابينس. يعني لازم ساعد أكتر أو بالأشياء اللي بتضايقني أنا أكون يعني أكتف أكتر.
All right. Mutla, what's one thing you learned in this class?
I found it really empowering and realizing how much we are in control of our happiness.
All right. Zena?
For me, I learned أكيد consistency. To be consistent.
All right. Lulwa, you raised your hand, and
yes, fulfillment.
Fulfillment. All right. Jumana.
اكتشفت انه انا I am happy.
Good for you. Mirvat.
كتير حبيت sadness is the preview to your happiness. يعني whenever I'm sad مش بس إذا ما معي مصاري or whatever, any time of sadness I have to dig deep لشوف شو ال plan of action حتى إني أطلع من هالsadness.
Yes, that's a very, very, very powerful lesson, by the way. That any time you actually feel sad, don't fight the sadness. Don't fight the sadness. Take it as a preview for the movie. Lara?
Do more volunteering work.
Teresia?
Action. Move it in action.
Ziad?
You can actually know what makes you happy by knowing what makes you sad.
Maya?
I acknowledged my own internal fears.
Okay, باسم كلهم. Okay.